Hello, my name is Dinesh. I go to Carson Secondary School, and this is my practice IOC on The Great Gatsby. The Great Gatsby is a 1925 novel written by American author F. Scott Fitzgerald. The book is based in the summer of 1922, primarily in like two islands in New York. The story is written to capture themes such as time, social hierarchy, and the American Dream. The passage I will be looking at is narrated by Nick, and it's our introduction to Jordan Baker and Daisy Buchanan, as well as her house. In this passage by Fitzgerald, it is highlighted that behind the beauty of luxury, there are kind of dark secrets hidden from the eye, such as like a broken home and character dissatisfaction. Fitzgerald shows this primarily through the use of imagery, juxtaposition, and personification. Upon first look at the Buchanans, we are able to identify that they are living a luxurious lifestyle. When first entering the house, Nick says, "We walk through a high hallway into a bright rosy colored space," on line 1. The imagery used to describe the house gives us an idea of the Buchanan's place in the social standing. So the high hallway helps to show that the house itself is like huge, and the height shows that the Buchanans are kind of high on the social hierarchy over like people of like other families at the time. The rosy description of the house, and later on in the book describing the characters' looks, which is white or wine colored, helps to highlight the fancy nature of like their estate and their character, and like with words like wine often being associated with luxury. When he on line 15, when it's mentioned that Daisy and Jordan are ballooning to the floor to greet Nick, this image helps to further emphasize the wealth and affluence of Daisy and Jordan. So instead of simply sitting up, by floating up and ballooning up, it's helping to emphasize the elegance of both characters. Between line 4 and 5, okay, so a breeze entering through like one side of the house and then going through the other helps to highlight how even though the house may be big and look amazing, it's really empty and it lacks anything that makes it really a house. This can also highlight kind of the lack of substance of the characters, showing that how even though the house is big and looks beautiful, it's kind of a facade because it's not an actual house besides like one couch in the middle and the painting. Later in line 13, it says there was a boom as Tom shut the rear windows and the sound died. This shows that while Nick initially noticed this flaw of like the wind going through one side and going through the other, the Buchanans were like quick and aggressive to like cover it up and not let him see it. And then the sound imagery of like the boom highlights his quick and aggressive reaction to this flaw being noticed and his like effort to cover it up as fast as he can. The second literary device that Fitzgerald uses to highlight the beauty and the flaws of the lives of the Buchanans looks primarily at the character of Daisy. On line 38, when describing Daisy's face as bright through repetition and like happy through amongst other things, her face is mentioned to be sad and lovely. So the juxtaposition of the word sad and lovely, which seem as though like they do contrast each other heavily. This highlights that Daisy's wealth and affluence have granted her things like beauty, which is why she looks so lovely. But however, behind all that, she's sad and still like longing for more. This is further emphasized earlier in the passage when Daisy is described to be, when Daisy first greets Nick and it says, "I'm paralyzed with happiness" on line 24. When she says this, it just could mean simply that she's happy to see Nick. But if we look deeper into the deeper meaning, it kind of means that her life is paralyzed in a way, meaning that she has a lack of freedom and can't really do anything. But she's satisfied because I guess she has money, which is a common characteristic in Daisy as well as other characters in the story, as in they're not able to live their lives to the fullest, but they have money, so they're satisfied, which is what we can see later on in the character Gatsby. Okay. This type of juxtaposition is further used on line 22, when Daisy is said to have like an absurd, charming little laugh. This juxtaposition highlights how she's living in this facade, which makes her seem like royalty, which is like laughing charmingly, but it also makes her like dissatisfied and seem almost like crazy. Okay. From the quotes earlier we talked about Daisy's face looking sad and lovely, on line 39, we can also see that her voice is very persuasive and alluring for other people to come to her. So that's emphasized when she says, "Who's the kind of voice?" When she says, "There's an excitement in her voice that men who had cared for her found difficult to forget." So this is her voice. In this case, would seem similar to money, which attracts people, and just like money, Daisy's voice can bring people to her and her lifestyle. But what we have to notice is that there's always something individuals should probably look out for, such as their values and individuality, which they would lose chasing money. While Daisy and her house look beautiful upon first sight, they're both not necessarily seeming to be like happy. So the paintings in the Buchanan's house is personified and is said to be groaning, which helps to further paint Daisy's house and lifestyle of style and luxury as being empty and lonely and longing for more. Through the utilization of these devices, juxtaposition, personification, and imagery, it is clear that behind the luxury and beauty of the Buchanans, there are secrets initially hidden on first sight that highlight the emptiness of their lives and characters, and show the flaws within each one of them. All right, thank you.